Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today it's time to go to the past. So yeah, this is me 6 or 7 years ago, a long time ago when I was playing professionally here in Spain. As you can guys guess it right by the title already, we are going to talk about my favorite champion, my most played in competitive as well, Taric. Here I got play of the game, and also we got a win in this competitive game. Taric has been my most played champion in season 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Every season that I've been playing, Taric has been always there. So who better than me to give you all the insight about this champion?
On some of the members, I do worry for Eminem a little bit later on though. Right?
We are going to talk about runes, builds, gameplay, a very good pro tip, how to use the E, how to team fight, the synergies, the counters, everything, and a very special mid-game play that you should be doing with Taric, and for sure some in-game examples and some 2v2 kills.
Level 3 death for none other than Venza. It happens once more.
Alright, let's start with the runes. So very important to pay attention on the runes. There's only like 3 options, but every rune setup has small details that make a big difference in game, okay? So let's start with the first 3 is going to be Resolve. Most of the cases we are going to go Resolve or Inspiration, but let's talk about Resolve. And let's talk about the first one, the big one, the important ones, right? Aftershock or Guardian. Before you would go Aftershock a lot of the times, but now Guardian is the most common one. So you want to choose Guardian. When would you go Aftershock? You would go Aftershock when you are playing with a very aggressive team and then you are going all in. So for example, Kalista, Draven, you could, when enemy team is very all in heavy and you know that you are going to hit the stun yes or yes, right? Because you cannot miss the E because they are very melee heavy and they are going to try to burst you. Taric is not a tanky champion. We need to remember that first of all. Taric is not a tanky champion. So Aftershock is used with aggressive lanes and when there's very melee heavy team composition on enemy team and you know that you're going to be in mid-game fighting, so you need that extra resistances, right? But overall, default one is going to be Guardian. Okay, ask me in the comments if you have questions about this, or you say, okay, Coach K, if I play with this champion or that champion, what should I go for? If you're playing with Swain, it's a very good 2v2, I would go Aftershock because you use a good burst of damage with Aftershock, but we can talk about that later as well in matchups. All right, so Font of Life and Shield Bash. So very standard. Font of Life is the best option right now. And Shield Bash is if you want to go aggressive. And again, you are winning the lane. You feel stronger in lane. Taric, very strong champion in lane. We are going to talk about that also later. But Shield Bash if you want to go aggressive. And Font of Life, more standard. Just very safe rune to take, okay? Now, here comes the interesting part. And we are going to sum it up in 3, like very simple, okay? Conditioning, you go when the lane is... You don't care about the laning phase. That is, for example, you're playing as Rakan, Braum, very weak champions early on, Soraka, and you think that there's not going to be anything happening, right? So conditioning is good rune to scale, and you think nothing is going to happen in laning phase. Second win is against very heavy poke lanes. Let's say you're playing against Karma, you're playing against Brand, Lulu, then you want to go second wind, and then lastly, you're going bomb plating when you are going to play those all-ins, and maybe it's a 2v2 that is very fight heavy, right? And you are going to be trading early on. So I would say bomb plating can be great here. So very standard is going conditioning, right? Especially in lower elos, the laning phase is not that fight heavy. And if you are fighting, you can punish very well with your E. And then lastly, I would go revitalize always. Healing and shielding power. Taric heals and shields is his entire kit is that. Okay, so revitalize, yes, it's a yes, it's a must. So secondary is inspiration was very common before because you will go cookies, will give you mana. Taric is a champion that needs a lot of mana, so cookies right now, forget about it. Forget about biscuits, Cosmic, we will miss you, but it's not that important, okay? What's important right now is to go Presence of Mind and go Legend Haste. We want some CDR, basic ability haste for Taric. It always works very well. If not, you can go last stand if you want some damage. You can go as well alacrity to get more attack speed, but I would recommend just go these two. Why? Because with Presence of Mind, you will get mana back every time you get an assist or a kill, and it's going to be super, super important because Taric is a mana intense champion, so you are going to consume mana a lot. So this is a must. This is going to be a must. If you feel spicy and you don't want to go Presence of Mind and you don't want to go the Precision tree, the other tree I can recommend you is Zombie War Ultimate Hunter, because the Taric ultimate is on a very long cooldown. It's okay, you just need to be careful with your mana, and in teamfights you will notice in mid-game, late game, that you are going to suffer. Even if you have building tier, that we are going to see later on the build, it's not going to be easy. You could also go chip shot, more aggressive lane. I tried it, it's fine, it's fun, but I would prefer to go Presence of Mind and haste here right now. Secondary, attack speed on runes, for sure, move speed and health. You could also go scaling health and go conditioning if it's like a very boring lane, but I always recommend to go move speed. There's always angles where you can punish the enemy bot lane, okay? So this will be a very standard setup of runes, and then I will just change with Aftershock, Shield Bash, and probably Revitalize if I'm playing against or with a very aggressive AD carry, or with Swain. That's also a very good combo, and I'm going to be in there and I'm fighting all the time, okay? This is also a very interesting rune setup. If not, you have one last option that's going to be, again, Glass and Augment. It's in my video where I explain the runes. You can go check it out as well. I explain the runes for enchanters and for engaged champions, but I will explain it for Taric here as well. You want to go magical footwear. Taric needs a lot of resources as well, so getting rid of the boots is great. Then you can go cookies, it's okay. The HP scales also with your ability scale with HP, so it's fine to have it. You can go cosmic, and then you always want to go revitalize, and you can choose one of those, probably conditioning, bomb plating, font of life, shield bash, even you can go second wind. It doesn't really change a lot, right? The issue with this build setup or rune setup is going to be your mana as the same thing, because we don't have Presence of Mind. But when do you go Glacial Augment? You go Glacial Augment against immobile bot lane, okay? Double immobile bot lane with an Ardent support, so not an engage, right? So against Jinx Lulu, Glacial Augment, perfect. Against Misfortune Brand, Glacial Augment can work, okay? I would go even probably second wind against that. It's a bit poke, right? Now, Real Karma, you don't go Glacial Augment. Why? Because RL can jump away. No, you're not going to benefit that much, and it's way better to go Guardian in those cases, okay? So yeah, that's it for the runes. Let's go to check out the builds. Before I forget, this is the best skin in the game, the best skin for Taric. Armor of the 5th Age Taric, okay? Important. Again, first item, let's make it. So we buy a super item that we know everyone knows. This super item is going to go Celestial Opposition if an enemy team has very good all-in. Then we want to go this one, Solstice Sly. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. Excuse me if it's wrong. If we are able to hit multiple E's, or it's very easy for us to hit E's, it's not that burst heavy composition of the enemy team. Let's say they have a couple of tanks. It's pretty easy to connect the stance and to keep our teammates alive, and we have good move speed to chase them down. And then we also are able to play Bloodsong, but the issue with this item is that it got nerfed a couple of times already. But if you need to burst one target, or you want to burst the first target, let's say you are playing resets with Viego, Ari, you have like one target lockdown kill, then Bloodsong is pretty good to go with Taric, so I would recommend to go that. The rest I will not touch. I've tried Dreammaker a bit because of the shields and heals and everything, but no. Let's take with these three, and that should be okay, all right? For boots, the most important one is going to be Ionian boots, but there are two exceptions, okay? You go Ionian boots normally, but if enemy team has AP heavy and a lot of CC, you go Mercury threads. And if they have a lot of armor, you go Tabis, or now known as Steel Caps. So again, very standard. CDR boots are very nice with Taric, but if not, you go steel caps and mercury threads. I've seen some players go Swifties, but if you need to roam and you need to match roams, let's say you're playing against Spike, against Rakan that are moving a lot around the map, Rare, and you need to match, Taric is not a great roam champion, that's for sure, then Swifties can be okay? In that situation. That's what the recommended of Riot, so Riot is not wrong. Now, first item you buy, tier. Always. First base, you buy tier. Always, you buy tier. Okay? Let's say you get tier, boots. I'm not buying in order. I'm going to explain the order after. Then for first item, you have Solari. That's going to be 90% of your games. I would say even 80% of your games or more. You can go Redemption first item and you can go Mikael first item. When would you go Redemption? Before Solari? I will not. Because if you're buying Redemption, it means that they have a lot of AoE damage. And Solari does, Locket of Solari does a lot of AoE mitigation. So you would go, let's say you're playing against Karthus or you're playing against Diana or Hecarim, like team comps that go into you, right? You get Locket and then you get Redemption, and this is a perfect combination for Taric. As I said, 2 items is a lot for supports, but we are going to talk a bit more in depth, okay? So Locket is nice. If they have like 1 CC, like Ashe, maybe they have Ashe, Thresh, Ari on the same team, Mikael, makes sense to go Mikaels to get rid of that CC with just 1 active. If not, let's say they don't have a lot of AoE damage, Redemption doesn't have that much value, then you can go always Locket, and I love to go the new one, Winter's Approach, right? That will convert into this one. And why is this nice? Because you are getting HP, which scales good with your abilities, and also you're getting a shield and place in the bag, okay? Because you will probably end up in mid-game with this kind of items, right? You upgraded super item, but right now I cannot have it because I didn't put up my quest. So you will have this, then Kindle Gem is a must, right? You get Solari, Kindle Gem, the boots, and the tier, and you're sitting on this, chilling in the game. If the game goes good, then you maybe are able to go back to base, and you will have this one in 1200. So maybe you base and it's 1200 gold, boom, I get the item. Now I free my space and I can go another Kindle Gem. You guys see? Kindle Gem gives you HP and gives you CDR. So with Taric, that's excellent. So getting CDR, HP, and armor with Taric is the best thing you can do, okay? Talking about armor, one of the great items that there is right now is Knight's Vow that got nerfed, rebuffed, and now it's okay. So Knight's Vow is also a fine item to get a second with Taric, because again, you get the armor, the CDR, and the HP. That goes really well with Taric, and you can defend your allies properly. So you can do this when you are playing with a hyper carry that you want to defend. An enemy team has a lot of assassins that want to go in, a lot of burst damage as well, which Taric is not great against if he cannot have time to cast the ultimate. So I would go Knight's Vow. It's also like pretty good, right? You could even be on tier and get Knight's Vow as well. So let's say you this build. If they have triple ADs without attackers, let's say they have Vayne, top lane Set, and in mid lane Yasuo, guys, armor and CDR and mana, you get a fat Frozen Heart, and they are not going to win. Your W scales with armor, your E scales with armor, you are in a very good position sometimes, and you probably will have steel caps as well, right? This is the perfect Taric build, and you are countering a lot of comps, okay? Taric is a very good champion. I can play it against anything because I'm very used to playing against bad matchup, but Taric is a very one-dimensional, I counter your combo, I get a good build, and you are not playing the game, especially against all-ins, full AD champions. We're going to talk about that as well, okay? So now I don't forget, because I always forget about this. Let's talk about first bases and what are you going to buy and how does it look in-game for Taric to buy items early on. So when you base, normally you have 400 gold or 800 gold. If you have 800 gold, you will always buy tier, that is 400. So let's go back. We got tier, and now you have the decision to make, or you go HP, which is very nice, or you go boots and a control ward and maybe refillable or potion. That's my favorite, right? Taric does benefit from move speed. He does also benefit from HP. You benefit from move speed because it's way easier to hit your abilities and stick to champions to get your passive out, right? And the passive of Taric is like the kit. The entire kit is hitting auto attacks and getting the passive off. So move speed is very important, okay? So this will be a good buy. You are pretty squishy. As I said, Taric is not a very chunky champion. If you are rich, let's say you go base and you have 1,300 gold. Like something happened in bottom, you got a couple of kills, you base late. Then even Kindle Gem and Tier and a Pink looks good. I will buy it. I will take it over Boots because you get the HP and the CDR, which is nice. And you will be slower, but it's a decision to make. You can also do the Boots and Ruby Crystal and you are fine, okay? Once you complete your first item, as I said, and you get your Boots, I will always try to get Boots before completing Locket. Here you already go Kindle Gem, and from Kindle Gem to Kindle Gem, you just look, you see, beautiful. Redemption, Winter's Approach, Night's Vow. All of them are same, almost same gold, 300 more expensive the other one. You can save some space and get Winter's Approach, as I said, another Kindle Gem. Kindle Gem, like gems though, Kindle Gem is going to be essential for you, and you just swap to Frozen Heart or maybe Thornel if they are AD heavy. If they are AP heavy, then you could always go for Abyssal Mask, or again, a Kindle Gem here. And you can also look for maybe Spirit Visage. I didn't try it yet. But I will not go for any Enchanter stuff. I will not go for Ziggs or Zekes. Like, it's not great. The ultimate is very long cooldown, so I will not bother doing that. But again, if you need to remember something, tier level 1, Kindle Gem into Kindle Gem into Kindle Gem, into item, and situational, okay? Any questions in the comments? I'm very happy to answer any build question, all right? Let's go to the next point. Combos, what to max, what to upgrade, what abilities you should go first. Okay, so every time level 1, E first. So E first, level 1 is a must. You don't even need to think about it. You don't even need to save your time to go to lane. If you go outside of base, you go E level 1 and you're fine. Second, what do we get second? So now this is the thing that changes a bit. So W normally is fine when you are against the range supports because you are not going to spam so many abilities and the shield is going to help your AD carry survive a bit longer, okay? So let's say you are playing against a poke lane, you go W level 2 and then he gets hit by an ability, you can shield him for a bit because if you are getting Q, then you need to go nearby him because you don't have W. Right? And if you don't have W, you cannot replicate the spells. So you will take extra damage if you want to heal him. And here level 1 doesn't do much. So I will always go W second. But if you are playing against, let's say, all-in champions like Rel, Leona, Nautilus, what I would do is level 2, I would go Q second. Why? Because if Leona, let's say, jumps on me or jumps on my AD carry, then I can go stun, obviously. It will not be 2 stuns because there's no W. I will hit my passive and then I will start spamming Qs. You guys see? I will start spamming Qs. The other way around, if I don't have Q, let me get mana back. If I don't have my Q, what I will do is I will stun, hit 1, 2 autos, and then W. And now here I don't have auto attacks. You guys see that my E is 6 seconds, 5 seconds away, and my W is 7 seconds away. So I have no spells to get my passive, and the passive is the most important thing of Taric, right? So talking about passive, how does the passive of Taric work? Is every time you use an ability, you will have 2 empowered auto attacks with extra attack speed and extra damage, and it does a lot of damage. And not only that, it reduces the cooldown of every single ability except the ultimate, right? So let's say I E, I auto attack twice, 1, 2. Now my E goes on from 16 seconds already to 10 to 9 seconds really fast. Okay, so I spam W. Now I hit my 2 autos and I already have my E again, right? So you always want to keep auto attacking, keep auto attacking. It does a lot of damage and it gives you your abilities back. Okay, so a good combo will be you start with E, auto attack, W, auto attack, Q, auto attack. You see, I already have my E in 4 seconds. So a full complete rotation would be E, auto attack, W, auto attack, Q, auto attack, Q, auto attack. And here I will have my E again really back soon. Okay, now your Q is a 15-second cooldown, but every time you hit your auto attack empowered with the passive, it gets refilled, okay? So every time you upgrade or level up your Q, you will have 1 extra stack. And every time you use 1 auto attack, you get refilled the 1, okay? So if I use Q and I use 1 auto empowered, I will have 1 again, okay? And if I hit the second auto, I will have 2. So at level 4, and this is a must with Taric. If not, you look like a noob if you don't do it. You always go Q 2 points. You max E, but you always at level 4, you do Q 2 points. So it looks like this, the combo. You E, auto attack, W, auto, Q, auto, Q, auto. And you see, right now, I'm getting the full value of my Q because it has 2 stacks every time I do my passive, right? So you are going to heal more, and you are not wasting 1 passive stack with the Q. You don't want to go 3 points in Q because it doesn't make sense, because if I go 3 points in Q, then it's going to be auto. I will always have 2 stacks and I will never get the 3 stacks, right? I will have it eventually if I'm using W and E, but that's, if you want to get max value, you just put 2 points in Q. Now, after this, you want to go E, level 5, ultimate, and just max your E, right? You want to max your E. Here we go. And now, after maxing your E, W, I like it way more. It gives you passive armor, it gives you more shield, and it's way easier. Like, you are defending more your allies, right? You could also go the Q, which is not that bad, because at the end of the day, the Q, you will have it. Let's say you get 4 points in Q. Let's get the ultimate as well. What happens is that you will have an initial good, strong Q, right? But then when you are fighting, you guys see, when you are spamming abilities, you will almost never have 4, only when you use WE, right? So if you do the combo with E, Qs, right now, if I want to spam another Q, it will only be 2 value, okay? So it's not that bad because you have a good initial heal, but then during fights, it's not going to have so many stacks, if that makes sense, right? So I like more W second, but you guys can just try it out. I don't think it matters that much. I would just prefer like having more armor on the guy that I'm linked, okay? So how do the abilities work? The W and the E, okay? So the W, you link a teammate and it's going to replicate the abilities that you are doing, okay? So right now and it gives a shield. So I'm giving a shield to both me and my teammate. And if I use the E towards this direction, the E is going to go towards him, and my E is going to go towards him as well. Okay, so you can stand numbers like a lot of people with this strategy, right? So normally, if this is like the guy that you want to peel and you don't have him linked, if they jump on him, what you want to do is W and just E forward. Like just imagine you are him, and you are him, and you need peel, so you use the stun in front of him. Doesn't matter really what happens with your stun, it's just a bonus if it hits someone. But oh, I need to peel him, I E, so it stuns the guys that is in front, and then you come and help him out. All right, so there are some tricky combos you can do, like maybe here I show some W combo with Nocturne, where for example a champion is going to jump in, so you can channel the E, and while he jumps he's going to stun the enemy champions. Okay, so now ultimate. How does the ultimate work? The ultimate works is that you cast it, and for 2.5 seconds it takes time to arrive, and in 2.5 seconds it stays, and you are invulnerable, you take no damage. All right, so let me get rid of this and get the CDR. So how do you want to play with your ultimate? There are 2 ways to be efficient with your ultimate. It's a tricky ultimate because it takes time so to arrive, and people can one-shot you, or you need to be very, like, get used to it in game, and that's all. So Taric has 2 ways to play. You can play with your carries. Let's say this is like your AD carry and your mid laner, and this is your top and your top lane and your jungler, right? These are the carries from the enemy team, and enemy team is going towards you, trying to all-in you. So if I connect, let's say this guy is Camille or Jax or Rengar, I would like to connect my Camille and stay with my team. So when Camille is fighting, I would just aim my E to peel, and at the same time ultimate, right? So while I'm peeling my team, my carries, my Rengar and my Camille, right? Let's suppose they are going to fight and take 0 damage. So enemy team has a harder time peeling for them. So now the other way around. If I want to be with the block that is going in, right? Let's say I have a really good engage for a flash E that I'm going to talk about now as well. I'm going to link my carry, ultimate, and dive with my team, right? So now I'm always ulting 5 people in the fight. A lot of mistakes from Taric players is, oh, I put my W on my AD carry, and what I'm going to do is I'm ulting, and this is low value, right? Like some of my teammates are fighting, and here, sure, we got 3, but I could have got more people in my ultimate, okay? So let's say I see a very good E-flash, let's say it's a Jinx in front of me. I want to E-flash on him, I E-flash, and then I ult, right? Now, these guys have my ultimate. You need to be careful that you don't break the link, and everyone has ultimate on the team, and you are peeling at the same time. Normally, when you kill these guys, then you will be able to kill the others and win the team fight, right? Maybe your AD carry dies, but you are buying more time for your team, okay? So that's usually the combos that in fights, right? With abilities. So the last one, and the most interesting one, is the E-flash. So E-flashing with Taric is channeling your E, and because it takes time to break or to cast, what you want to do is E, and at the end, flash to stun the enemy. It's a very long range, and it's very lethal. Sometimes you will see me as well E and flash on top of him. Why on top of him? Even if the E finish further away, if my E finishes here, I need to walk up and auto attack. But if I E and I flash on top of him, I already can auto attack and start spamming my auto attacks on him. So I'm getting 4 auto attacks in and he's getting destroyed, right? So you can value that, and that's a pro tip for you guys. E and finishing on top of him, right? That's very, very lethal for the enemy. And also you can do it from bushes where they don't really see you coming, and then you are able to punish the enemy. So I know it's a bit long, but the explanation is worth it. So I'm going to give you one tip now, and now just again a pro tip that's going to be more that no one knows, but this one some people know, is that what I like to do in lane, let's say they are laning, I like to start with E, get a chunk, let's say we chunk him this HP, okay? And I go back. Now, normally they will flash out, very low HP, and they will be low HP. Let's imagine this guy is low, or this guy is low, and they are trying to farm. Because he flashed and I still have my flash, I want to, when I have my E back, I want to E-flash on him, and then this kill. You saw it already at the start of the video on the intro. You can go back and check it out when I did it on competitive. I got enemy AD carry flash, I still have my flash, and once that happens, 100% kill. You cannot miss. It's too broken. The damage is insane. The passive does a lot of damage. Taric is one of the strongest level 3, level 4 champions that is in the game, especially with the reset of auto attacks. Okay, so this was for the abilities. Let's go for the pro tip. The biggest secret on how to hit Taric E constantly, all the time. So how do I do as a Taric OTP, okay, as a Taric player, to hit my E's when the E is a bit like weird, right, to use. So most of you guys, I will keep it short. So pro tip for you is that you will just E and just run to the enemy like this, and you need to pay attention, close attention to your E's, right? So when I started with Taric in the rework, I will do the same, and I will miss a lot of E's, right? I will hit and I will click forward, and it will look like this. You don't want to play like this with your E. What you want to do is what I call the wiggle wiggle. All right, you want to move like this, wiggle wiggle, move from one side to the other side, left and right, left and right. So you will pay attention to my clicks when I use my E. So I E and I move I go with my mouse, I put my mouse around my character and I start clicking sideways. Why? Because the natural reaction from the enemy champion is going to move up, down, to try to dodge your E because it's charging, right? It's loading. So I will walk up and then I will move around, right? I will load up and move around. And when he chooses a side, then I can choose that side as well. But don't try to go just on a straight line. It doesn't make sense. You want to E and try to move around, all right? Wiggle, wiggle. So wiggle, wiggle, free pro tip for you guys. Enjoy it and use it. Let me know how it goes. Okay, I'm up here. Let's change a bit the camera so you guys can see everything in the tier list. So this is the best synergy that Taric can have with every AD carry. OP, strong, good, meh, don't. Now, instead of ordering them, I made a list and we commented really fast. So you guys have a better idea and it doesn't take forever. Okay, so most OP champions, Swain. The combo is incredible. If you know someone that plays Swain and you play Taric, you should guys start playing Taric Swain. Swain gets the E, then you get the lockdown, Swain gets the full combo with the WQ, and you have so much time to hit your passive that it destroys every single lane, okay? It's very good into immobile AD carries or immobile champions in general. Taric Tristana, I did a duo Q challenge that we won. First prize, there's the trophy, maybe I show it later. And we did Tristana Taric from low elo to master MMR, and we did like I think 50 wins, 2 losses, 50 wins, 4 losses. It was insane. Like the combo, I was playing with a main mid laner, not even AD carry. The combo is insane. I will show you here the picture of the win rate as well. Kalista, Draven, very good because they both are aggressive, and Taric is a very strong champion and aggressive champion. We already spoke about that. And probably with all of these 4, you want to go Aftershock and dominate the lane. Twitch is up here because he has a really good synergy with the E of Taric and his Q. So he can go stealth and then you can E and the enemy doesn't see that you stun and he can do his full combo. He has more time. Hyper carries work great with Taric because he also buys them a lot of time with the ultimate and is a late game monster. Downside is that laning phase is not that easy to deal with because probably you get countered a lot. But if you are able to survive, then it's going to be very strong. Talking about strong champions, Kog'Maw, same thing as Twitch, just that he doesn't have like a good combo with the stealth. So laning phase is going to be hard, but then it's a machine, and with Taric Peel, it's insanely strong in late game. Naila Taric, one of the best combos also that you can do in bot lane. Probably could be OP, Naila Taric, could be around there OP. Naila passive with the shields and the heals and the level up with the XP advantage, and Taric doesn't want to roam. Taric doesn't want to roam, okay? He is not a champion that wants to roam around the map, so staying with Naila, having that good and strong 2v2, it's a very good duo. Same for Kai'Sa. It's just that Kai'Sa, what synergizes well with Kai'Sa is that you can send her with the ultimate and you can ult at the same time that you send her away. So maybe you can ult E and she can stun someone and do a lot of damage in the backline. And also 2v2, she's okay with a CC from Taric. But maybe she could be good, not as strong. Then Ashe, Varus, same thing. They are strong laners, they are fine laners, but they don't synergize that well with Taric in general, right? Later on as well. They are way better champions to do that, but they're still fine. Vayne, good later on, really good synergy, same as Twitch with the stealth and the ultimate with the Q. With the E, it works wonders. Your ultimate is great. Same as Zeri, but weak in lane. So that's a bit of a downside. If you survive, then it's going to be very painful for the enemy team. Erreal, the good thing about Erreal is that he's strong early game and he's underrated early game, like Taric is underrated. So you can do a lot of things. Early levels, level 3, level 4, you can bully enemy bot lane, but it's good. It's not excellent or extraordinary, not insane synergy. Same as Jinx. Scaling, you have good peel. Doesn't fight early on, so it's not the best, but it's still fine. It's not bad. Same Corki. Corki got buffed a lot, so I don't know where Corki will be in a couple of patches. If you're watching Season 15 this guide or 2 patches after and Freak decided to nerf Corki or Corki is like Exodia right now, so he's OP, or right now he's good. It's fine. Champion. Machamp, Samira, Yasuo, Lucian can impress some players, but it's okay. But I will not like it, right? I don't like Lucian outside of Milio and Nami. Samira, Yasuo, they are okay because they are going to fight a lot in melee. So it depends on the team comps. They could be good, but I don't really especially like it. There's not good combos. I don't have knockups for both of them. Just a stun, and you need to hit the stun. So sometimes it can be fine, but it's not my favorite thing. Same as Jhin Miss Fortune. The good thing about Jhin Miss Fortune is that they enable you to roam. And Taric, as I said, we don't really want to roam. So not the best ones to have in bot lane. It's still meh, but it's not the worst. There's worse. But yeah. Kaelin, Aphelios, for me the same thing. Like they want to play with Kaelin at least wants to get plates. Taric very bad at getting plates, so it doesn't synergize at all. Aphelios, Can be fine if he's in meta, but right now because I feel it's really bad, it doesn't do anything. If he was meta, I would put it like Jinx, same aspects with Jinx, right? Zaya, Sivir, and Seraphine, they do the same. Miss Fortune and Jhin, but weaker in lane, is that they are very good alone, they wave clear, they enable you to roam. Taric, do you want to roam? You know the answer already. Don't. Senna, Six, Karthus, Syndra, Veigar, Cassio, Smolder, don't do that. Taliyah, I don't know why Action and Johnny are here, but well, they are here in the tier list. So, okay, that's the synergy. Again, any questions? You know where to find me. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so these are the matchups for Taric in bot lane as against other supports that are good or are bad. Doesn't look that great, okay, but in the next chapter that we are going to see, Taric is a great champion to counter team compositions, okay? Taric is not a great champion to specifically contest or counter a champion specifically as a support in lane. He's a great team comp counter, okay? We are going to see that later, but now let's talk a bit about the bad matchups that he has, the free matchup he has. So, free matchup that he has, melee champions that don't do much in lane and that roam a bit, but not a lot. I mean, Alistar does roam a lot, but it's very free to play against Alistar when he engages. He's melee all the time, right? He wants to do the same thing as you, but you do it better and you out-heal him, out-damage him. So it's very free matchup, okay? So in winnable matchups, again, champions that go in, roam a bit, but not that much. I mean, Poppy, Leona, and Nautilus roam a lot, but they are all-in champions that they are going to commit and they are not going out, and that's what Taric loves. Zac, for example, the same thing. Maokai, if he goes in, he doesn't go out. Shen, the same thing, right? Amumu, the same thing. You guys get the logic, okay? Braum, he cannot roam. He's not great roaming, and Taric does well into Braum. Like it's it's a similar champion as Braum, but in my opinion, better. And especially if you pick it on certain compositions that he works great, then way better. So neutral. Yes and no. Zillion could be a counter. People would say it's a counter. You guys saw it as well on the competitive game. I don't think so. But because I think Zillion is not a champion, right? Bard, he's not as strong right now. He could be annoying because he roams a lot and you cannot really follow. Rel, the same thing. Goes in, commits, but Rel is OP. So that's why it's not an easy matchup. Gragas, the disengage is great. Rakan, he can also choose to roam and he also can go in and out, right? That's the dangerous thing for Taric. So Nami, Enchanter, but compared to the other ones, not that much damage. She buffs the AD carry, so you can punish that by going into the enemy AD carry. She doesn't have great escape, so that can be fine for you. Hook champions are fine against Taric. It's like a bit of skill matchup. And Tankens, the issue with Tankens is that if you are melee, the same as Pantheon, you are going to get a lot of damage. And if they are good, the counter of Taric is that you get ignited or you get focused and you are going to die, and very, very fast because you are not that tanky. Okay, remember that, guys. Bad matchups, I mean, we have to... So when I say bad matchups is that if you're a beginner with Taric, you will suffer against these champions. Okay? If I played, for example, against Lulu, I'm okay. If I play against Jan, I'm okay. Why? Because I'm going to look for an aggressive E level 1. I'm going to try to flash on their faces. I'm going to try to trade a lot and be very aggressive. And I know my windows because I played this champion so much. But for beginners, if you see a Brand or you see a Zyra, sure, you can kill them with stunning them. But you need to be very careful on getting poked, stunned, lockdown, and outranged. Okay, outranged is terrible. So from these ones, for me, which the ones that are should be free or are easy, should be like Lulu, Milio, Brand, Zyra, Xerath are fine for me. They are not that hard. And Jan and Seraphine. Because they are very squishy and in one all-in they can go to base. They can die. The rest are a bit more tricky, right? Soraka pretty tanky sometimes, especially if it got resolved. Morgana has not played that much, but she can black shield my E and I'm not doing anything. And Pyke is roaming all the time, right? Pyke is roaming all the time. He's going to put my team a lot of pressure on my team, and I cannot hit tower, I cannot dive pre-6. So you are going to suffer if enemy Pyke is good and enemy AD carry is respecting properly, right? If you are playing against Pyke Ziggs, for example, in bowling with Taric, what are you going to do? You need to match early on. You are going to suffer a lot early on. They are going to make you move a lot on the map. You are slow. You don't add much on that, and you just need to match and try to defend. That's maybe an idea for another video, how to suffer in bot lane when you cannot roam and you have to. Yeah, that scenario, someone told me today on Discord, they wrote to me and said, what can I do in this scenario? You need to match. You need to match, and especially with Taric, it's painful, and you're going to fall behind in early game, but then mid game you can come back. Horrible matchups is champions that can outrange you, CC you, and outdamage you. Okay, they have a lot of damage like Lax, Nico, Wei, LeBlanc, Velkoth, and Ashe. They outrange you and they can easily dodge your E, and you can never reach them, right? If you go on Velkoth, he can E you out. The LeBlanc can double you out. Wei can fear you, right? Especially when you're trying to go forward with the stun, it's very simple for them. They can root you, they can do a lot of damage. And AP damage against Taric, it's a pain, right? You are going to suffer a lot. But I have tips for every single matchup, so feel free if you have a specific one that you will know more in depth. Write to me, join the Discord server, and we can talk about that. And also the fundamental video that you find on my channel is also going to help you a lot to fight in bad matchups, okay? And also you have some tips in another video that says how to play in a bad matchup. That will also help you in this type of lane, okay? Remember, Taric is good against team compositions and very strong in mid game and late game. We are going to also see a secret technique on how to win games in solo queue at minute 20, okay? Let's go for some draft examples, and as I said, Taric is a great champion to counter team comps, okay? So you are picking Taric when the enemy team comp is looking like a dive comp, okay? So they are going to go into your AD carry. Let's say you are playing with Kalista. This is a great scenario, right? Kalista can go out of the Jarvan ultimate, but let's say instead of Kalista, this is Jinx, and you're playing with a Jinx, and you want to save her, and you want to peel her the best that you can against something that is diving, because Jarvan is diving, Nautilus is going in, Galio, Camille, all of these champions are going in. If there are 3 out of 5 champions that go in, then you for sure like to go for Taric, okay? It can also be Yasuo. It can be a Yasuo game that they take Yasuo, they have Ornn themselves instead of your team. We change sides, and they have, instead of a Jarvan, they have any jungler that has like good engage, right? Hecarim, very good. Taric is insanely good against Hecarim, Jarvan, Diana, Amumu going. The problem that Amumu does AP damage, so that's something that you don't like. Vi, imagine Vi going in, then you pop your ultimate, she's useless, okay? The same goes with, for example, Nocturne. Taric is a great counter of Nocturne, because when Nocturne ults and he wants to go, pop your ultimate, everyone is safe, and then we keep playing. Good combos that can happen for your team is Kindred Taric. Kindred pops the ultimate, then you pop your ultimate a couple of seconds later, and when you get out of the Kindred ultimate, everyone is invincible, cannot die, and then you are able to kill the rest of the enemy team. So I think you guys get it, more or less. Again, feel free to ask me any questions. Sejuani can also be fine. For example, in mid lane, Kianas, right? Pantheons, AD champions, usually Taric works very well against. You don't want to play into Anivias or long-range champions like, for example, Victor, right? Punishes really well Taric. So you want most likely to play against Vladimir. Imagine Vladimir, and we change the jungler up. We say the jungler is Nocturne, and it can be Leona, it can be Nautilus, right? This composition against Taric, your ultimate kills them all, right? Vladimir wants to ult, you ult. Hecarim, if they have Hecarim wants to ult, Nocturne wants to ult, you can ult out, okay? So if their engage is very predictable and they have like a wombo combo, if you are good on your ultimate and you have your ultimate on the team fight, you are going to carry the game. Like Taric is one of the strongest champions to carry games with. Let's go for something that you guys love, okay? Laning phase, POV action. Here, this is a famous short that that I posted a couple of days ago. Just go behind the enemy and fight them. Here we are playing Kalista Taric. So we are playing with Aftershock, okay? Instead of Guardian, because I want to trade very heavily. And we're going to talk about a bit of the dynamics of the lane. Again, I'm playing around the bush. I'm trying to get an E level 1. It's not a big deal. I'm just going to try to get the cooldown off with some auto attacks. I decide to not to push the wave so fast, so I'm very careful there. I'm just going to be patiently waiting for my E. If you want to know more how to play better support, check my YouTube channel for more videos. There are a lot of theory around support. And here we flash in, and I want to go back and stop when we flash, because Kalista follows very nicely, which is great, but it doesn't happen all the time. So here, this is what I explained before, is that I flashed, but I'm not here, I'm here, right? So I need to walk all this way to use my empower auto attacks on her. So it will take a while, you're going to see. and I don't deal instant damage, right? So if I was melee instantly, probably she will die. But because I'm not doing the damage instant. So it just goes flash for flash barrier. Kalista also uses flash. They are very low. Normally, when you're playing with Kalista Taric, you want to path towards bot lane, but Nunu decides to path away. That's my solo queue games for you guys. I'm a bit like you. I'm not that lucky. Okay, so here we decide to trap. Kalista makes the call, so I follow. Make sure that there's no wards. And we use very good fog of war. This game is around platinum because I was playing on my Smurf. And here the wiggle a bit. We get the Zaya, and now we are also going to get the Taliyah, right? This is kind of how you want to play melee champions when you are winning. You don't really want to do anything under tower because you want to look or for a roam or a base or a trap. You have 3 options. Maybe you have more options, right? Maybe you can invade, but here in this case we cannot. So we end up getting the kill. Here Elise is going to try to gank. And the issue is that I didn't have presence of mind in this game. I was trying domination. And this is the example that I told you. I don't have mana, so I could not save Kalista. But again, Taric is a very strong champion to play when you jungle ganks as well, okay? So what I wanted to show you guys is how to use the passive correctly. Here I'm a bit low, so I'm going to start spamming Q and hitting auto attacks on the wave. I don't hit my E. I'm not perfect. I'm a bit rusty with Taric. But again, look how many auto attacks I'm hitting onto the enemy champions. Almost 0 at the start, and I was always hitting and ability, auto attack, ability, auto attack, ability, auto attack, and on the wave. I want to go back and show you. Okay, so here I use my E, I miss, I hit mini auto attack on the wave, I hit auto attack on the wave, I Q to heal Kalista or heal me, in this case right now, auto attack on the wave, auto attack again on the minion. So every time you walk forward, you want to auto attack something to get resets on your abilities and also get your heals up, right? Or your ability, do your shield, everything up, okay? And then when you get close to the enemy champion, you start hitting enemy champion, obviously, so you can deal some damage. Same example as before. We end up going aggressive for a E flash. I see that Nico had no abilities to mess with me, and we end up getting a good kill. And look what I'm doing. I'm auto-attacking the minion, auto-attack the minion, Q, Q. Again, so I'm healing Kai'Sa up all the time, W, auto-attack the minion. I'm looking to get those resets. I'm not able to get to Erreal because he's so far away, right? Kai'Sa is chasing her. If I didn't heal all this time, I would not have been able to kill the Erreal, and Kai'Sa would have died. And here again, like Volibear can gank, you just stun him, and if you have full mana, this time around I have presence of mind, and you can see how much I heal. Okay, how much I'm healing, and how much Kai'Sa is full HP again. That's very, very broken. So to finish the early game, let's look at a mini skirmish that ends up happening in one of my games, so we can finish about a bit of the rotations of Taric. So we get ganked by the enemy mid laner who moves first, so Kasia doesn't move. And we end up fighting this, and this is my dream scenario, okay? Dream scenario for Taric is not getting focused down and be able to auto-attack all the time. You guys are going to see how much I heal this fight. Around level 4, level 3, until level 5, 6, like you are healing so much. And now Casio even had the time to come here and triple kill for my Kai'Sa. And yeah, we will get really, really fed from this. So I want to go back and show you the team fight. So I get the stun on Swain, and I'm just looking for victims so I can auto-attack here. I auto-attack everyone, every ability, 2 auto-attacks, throw my E. Like Alistar realized that I'm doing a lot of job, so he's just W me out, so I cannot heal. But I stick to Alistar again. That's why I said it's a free matchup, because I'm going to be melee all the time. Smolder, not a strong champion either, but my heals was not even close. Like, Kai'Sa was full HP as well, and we end up getting a triple kill for her. When you are in a scenario where you are 3v2, 4v3, or you are outnumbered, and you still have tier and you have full mana, and you're able to connect one stun, you guys are going to heal the entire time, okay? So if you want to counter Taric, a small break here, if you want to counter Taric, you need to go cleanse as an AD carry, and you need to focus him down and ignite. Ignite counters you a lot. So if any team doesn't have ignite is not up, or they are not focusing you, and you are able to hit on melee, you're going to win every single skirmish, okay? And that's what people don't realize, because it's a champion that does not play that much, okay? So abuse it till you can. I guess you will be able to do it for a long time. And yeah, enjoy. We are going to talk about some mid-game fights. So one mid-game fight, and then I'm going to give you the winning formula with Taric, how to really win your games in solo queue. So here, E-Flash, fighting with Kalista, just getting the auto attacks in. Really good ultimate when I see Kled going in. Unfortunately for Kled, he still goes in when my ultimate is pop. And just here trying to peel, right? Trying to hit my abilities, try to get the E off all the time that you can. In mid-game, late game, you want always to try to stun the most enemy champions as possible. And we are going to go for a push. Taric is not a champion that wants to be frontline with Aftershock. You kinda can, because if you pop it, you're going to be pretty tanky for a couple of seconds. But normally you want to play like in the middle with where your carries are. You don't want to play too far back, but you don't want to play frontline either, right? You are not a frontline champion. And now, here comes the secret, okay? So I already explained how to use the ultimate. You guys saw a team fight. I think you guys get the point. So this is the secret. Towers, dragons, heralds, and nashors. They are going to give you full HP to every single team member that you have in your team. And that's the secret on how to win with Taric. Why? Because you are going to reset your Q all the time, and Kalista is going to get full HP right now. And I'm hitting the tower. You don't see that I'm not chasing. I'm hit the tower and Q, hit the tower and Q. And now if Fiora was smart and she was on top of me, she will be full HP now, right? So now we are going to see some examples where you're going to see it and where Taric is unstoppable. He's the king of the king doing this, and it's going to win you so many games, okay? So this is very, like, the most important thing probably that you have to know with Taric to play him in solo queue at the highest level.
Discrepancy for Venza before this offense.
Yeah, and I also will add, it's because Caracal did share a lot of play.
Ultra shot laser over the wall. Now the fight continues. Stun into the wall afterwards, and Dan does get down the subjugate, but there is a cosmic radiance come down to offer some invulnerability for 4. Kemra goes over the wall, and Venza has to cleanse his way out of dodge.
Ooh, the health bars though, are they too low to really go?
Pay attention now. Here I'm not afraid to start the dragon, because I know if I have time to hit the dragon and time to reset my Q, my whole team is going to get healthy and at least not maybe full HP in this situation, but they are going to have enough HP to keep fighting, and if enemy comes, we are going to win.
But he's so low himself. He's got flash, but no cleanse. And just managed to get himself out of danger there. That was nearly very dangerous for JDXL.
Yeah, crucial thing to note, Caracal had a target to hit after casting Q, so he was basically just able to repeat heal everyone.
This is the winning strategy for solo queue with Taric. This is how I win every single game. 95% of the games, if I'm winning hard or losing hard or is neutral game state, I always end up doing Nashor at minute 20, 21, 22, it doesn't matter. Early Nashor, I never lose HP. My teammates don't lose HP. I can do Nashor with my AD carry alone at minute 20 as Taric. I can do it with my jungler and my AD carry. We can duo Nashor, trio Nashor. You see, no one is losing HP. So what you do is that at minute 20, you go to a Nashor and you do it with your duo. You ping it, you spam it. We can duo, we can rush Nashor. We don't lose HP. You try to convince your teammates. Probably they will not know. And I do that every single time. I will show you more examples. Minute 20, I've tried to convince my teammate. Let's go, let's do Nashor. Cho'Gath. He's at Giga Chat. He comes and he's doing Nashor. Kaisa, not sure. She doesn't know if she wants to do Nashor. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter if we do it instantly or no. I'm not losing HP. So here we decide, let's fight. Kaisa is a bit afraid. So we end up fighting a bit. Doesn't matter too much. We will end up fighting. My teammates will not. I still can do Nashor in this moment, but my teammates decide that they want to base. So I have to base and respect. I'm not too happy. I type we can do a Nashor. Now Kaisa is going to come and we are going to do a Nashor, right? So maybe initially your team is not going to be like, oh, let's do it, because they are a bit suspicious, right? Because they've never seen this before. But again, we didn't do it at minute 20. We do it at minute 22. If not at minute 23. Look, we are not losing HP. Of course, Fiddlestick is also here. He's not losing HP with his W. But Kaisa is not losing AoE damage on AoE damage. We are just getting a free Nashor. And the game is like, we are winning hard this game, but there are other games where I sneak the Nashor and we are able to come back in the game. Again, the same situation. Minute 21. We are behind 31 to 26 in kills. Not doing too hot. Smolder is hinting, is hinting. And we start the Nashor. Again, Kalista, Nunu. Sure, I have a good trio to do the Nashor. We do it again. Nunu is not going to lose HP because he has his Q. But Kalista's not losing HP either. I'm not losing HP. I have tier. I have a lot of mana. I have blue buff as well, which helps, but not needed to do Nashor. And again, I'm in 21-20. We do Nashor. We are out. Now we end up winning the game. 3 wins. Let's see, guys. Who knows what I'm going to do now at minute 20? You guessed it right. Nashor is spawning. I'm already in Nashor side. I have a ping ward set up. I have 2 items. I'm doing pretty good this game, not gonna lie. And I'm going to do Nashor already. Vi is here. We're hitting Nashor. It takes a bit of time. I speed it up a bit. But we're not losing HP. Again, that's the thing. You don't lose HP. Sure, you get a bit of a debuff, right? But you always have your ultimate if they commit hard, and you can always heal your teammates up, and they are not scared to play after because they are full HP, right? We end up fighting, we are so fed, we'll end up winning this fight as well. And this is the secret. The secret power of Taric is just get the Nashor at minute 20, win or lose, you will be able to do it. No one will expect it in your teams, and you are able to end winning a lot of your games. That's why my win rate on Taric usually is pretty high. So yeah, this was everything for you guys with Taric. You can do this with dragons. You can do this with any neutral objectives that allows you to auto attack all the time. So you can heal your teammates all the time with that AOE Q damage. I mean AOE Q heal. And yeah, if check other videos, you will get a lot of more information that can complement this guide, okay, in my YouTube channel. Feel free to comment, join the Discord server. We are building a great community. You can ask me anything there or in the comments here. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. Till next time. Bye bye.